Hello, everyone. It's me. I think it's been a month. So I just thought I'd come on as I had very rare spare few moments, and I started to draft a kind of social media post in the written word of an update that might have gone on Instagram and LinkedIn, but possibly into a blog post. And I thought, actually, do you know what? It's been that long since I came on a live stream that it'd be nice just to give an update in this form. So my plan for us all now on this live stream, and obviously for people watching afterwards as well, is first of all say hi, and I hope you're all good and everything in your world, whether that be work or leisure or home or health and all of those things. I hope have been going well since I last came on here. And I guess the first part for me to update you on is my work world. So obviously, Purple Goat launched in April. Back in April was a new, maybe not so new now, but it was a new specialist disability marketing agency, very much looking around social influencer world. Hiya Trish, I can see you saying have missed your vids, Martin. So that was exactly why I thought I'd go live, as I've missed making them and I've missed having that kind of interaction. But yeah, I hope you're doing well, Trish. And also Kevin saying hello. So hello back there to Kevin. Hope you're good. So yeah, I was just trying to do a quick potted summary of April we launched Purple Goat, and pretty much round then for 4 solid months I was obviously doing the now infamous Daily Sib, and lots of amazing interviews with amazing people. I suppose much more around leaders in the disability world. And then when I got late October, early September, Purple Goat was really getting busy, and I was sort of struggling a bit generally for time and resource to do everything. But also, I think that the Daily Sib kind of ran its course almost for a season. I'd never say never. It was certainly never the plan that I wouldn't do it ever again, but I needed to pause and have a break from the Daily Sib. I think on my last live video, I sort of referred to the plan of doing like a weekly Sib. And I think the biggest, hardest part of that format is to go live with 3, 4, 5 people of the caliber that were on the Daily Sib on one day a week at the same time was just impossible with diaries. And it was actually going to take more time and energy to just try and get everyone's diary sorted and plan out. Even if I did it a month in advance, there were people that couldn't do this day and couldn't do that time. So I think, again, more for the practical reason of the sort of diary management and time and resource, the weekly Sib became a bit difficult, but it has evolved. I think the more I'm growing Purple Goat with my amazing team at Purple Goat and our sister agency, or the people we work really, really closely with at the Goat agency as well, the more we've gone forwards, we're realizing that, you know, the disability world understand the needs and wants of disabled people, and indeed the professionals and the influencers we work with, all very bought into inclusion is what we all want. But it's getting the mainstream businesses to first of all be aware of the large amount of disabled people that are looking for employment or wanting a better customer service experience, on and on and on, all the different ways that us as disabled people fit into everyday life. But getting businesses to understand that is a first step, and I'm pleased to say that a lot more businesses have, you know, spent more time and money in making their business and their products and services and their recruitment and all the rest of it more inclusive. So yeah, I think that's been the first, is education. But then I think beyond that, it's also about sorry, it's telling me on my screen here that LinkedIn isn't working, which is a shame, because it'd be nice if that was to go live there as well. but yeah, and obviously then there's the education side. But I think there's just then understanding how to be more inclusive, and so there's some again other things going on in that space for a while, which is great, and we're able to lend a hand there. But obviously, yeah, from Purple Goat's perspective as a marketing agency, we're also trying to get businesses to understand that even when you make these amazing changes for disabled people, you need to talk about it. And I remember so often hearing people go, "Oh, we put a ramp in our restaurant, and no one in a wheelchair ever came." And you'd be like, "Well, did you actually ever tell anyone in a wheelchair that you put a ramp in? Because they probably didn't used to come because they knew they couldn't get in your building, and they wouldn't keep coming and checking every week whether you had actually put the ramp in or not." So that sort of, probably real life example for me, actually looking over the years, but general example articulates, even if it's changes for blind people, deaf people, in the sort of neurodiverse community around learning disability and autism, etc., whatever the change and the improvements that have been made, there needs to be that communication, and that's more where we are. So I think where I've got to around my kind of content creation is in the background connecting more and more with business leaders and looking to have this series. I did announce the plan to do this a week ago in the written word on social media, but basically to get to interview nice sort of general business leaders, and I think the benefit of that is that they get to engage with me and us as the disabled community, both the customers and the influencer world. But it's less pressured. It's not going to be a full-on conversation just about disability. It will be them as a person, like their childhood, how they got into their career, really to build bridges and understand how that person and also their business and their brand has generally evolved. And obviously we will, because I'm a wheelchair user, because of my career, we will touch on disability and inclusion, but it's not going to be like 100%. I want to just tap into their personal development rituals, if they have any, and sort of generally kind of their story, really. So I think replacing the daily or the weekly SIB, I'm going to do it more as a pre-recorded podcast, but hopefully be able to have the video and upload the video as well. So I kind of see that part of it moving into this sort of interviewing business leaders and bridging the gap of business and entrepreneurship with the disability community. Chris is saying, bring this up, 259 billion is available if you engage with the community. Absolutely, Chris. And I think it's rather than just saying like there's a lot of people and a load of money, let's dance. I think it's also about networking and relationships. And I feel like this sort of podcast plan could be a really nice way where it's not on a very blunt, like, let's do business together, or even like activistic, like, what are you doing for the disabled community? I think those are the conversations that evolve more and more deeply over time. But first of all, we need these business leaders to even know we exist. And I feel this is a nice way to bridge it, basically. Michael, who's been on the show, says, "Hi, hope you're well." Good to see you there, Michael. And Samantha, who was on my podcast before the Daily Sib and was going to come on the Daily Sib before I paused it. But great to see you as well, Samantha. So yeah, I guess I want to say that plan one is about doing more of like a podcast with business leaders, and I've already been connecting and setting things up in the background. I still want to use this amazing bit of software that enables me to go live and talk to you all and engage with you. And so I'm toying around with something more short form content rather than the hour-long Daily Sibs that a lot of people said were impossible to watch all of them every day of the week. But yeah, I'm sort of toying with an idea about going live as much as possible, even around what's inspired me as a sort of vehicle to just share things I've read in the news, people I've spoke to, influencers working with, but not just about Purple Goat, not just about work, but even just me as a blogger and influencer, just sharing some of the stuff I get up to. So that's kind of the content, social content side of life. But at Purple Goat, very quickly, I had a lot of weeks. I reckon I was having about, and still am to be honest, but having about 4 conversations a day with new, bigger businesses, new as in people I'd never spoke to before. And if you do 4 a day times 5 days a week, then that's 20 a week. So roughly times 4 weeks, I was doing probably nearly 100, 4.5 weeks in a month, nearly 100 conversations a month. And that's been since April, which is back to obviously why I needed a bit of a way of having a slight pause with everything, because this has all been going on in the background. But pleased to say, yeah, like we've had some really cool clients, really amazing campaigns running. September was quite a slog for new business, and suddenly it's been whoosh like buses. And early October, we've been doing some massive pitches to massive brands, and I'm starting to work with some really big brands. So yeah, very big deal for me and Purple Goat is that we've, through all of that effort and energy, we're breaking into new networks, new worlds, and ultimately running inclusive marketing campaigns, which is really cool. We've had Harriet join the team. So Chris and Harriet very much heading up all of our campaigns and delivering what we're working with people. And so the campaigns that are going have been really good results, good to be giving return on investment to our clients, and obviously really good case studies and all the rest of it. And then, yeah, some sort of other little bits. I'm still involved in Disability Horizons as a co-founder, which has seen an explosion in growth of readership and articles, which is testament to Liz, our editor. And also on the shop side, we partnered with Duncan, and that's exploded in terms of sales and customer growth. So yeah, really amazing to have that going on at Disability Horizons, even while my attention's been more diverted to Purple Goat. But Liz and the volunteers are just doing a phenomenal job of serving up really important articles for the community on Disability Horizons. And yeah, I'm still doing some stuff as well outside of all of that for SMA UK, which is the charity that I have, Spinal Muscular Atrophy, and I've been helping them with their community connections. And also every now and then I help out Open Inclusion on some of their work. Like they did some really interesting work with the government app for COVID around user testing in terms of it being inclusive for disabled people. I actually took part in that as someone with dexterity difficulty. So yeah, kind of brand, new business, current campaigns and other projects. It's all been go, go, go. And then, yeah, I mean, obviously the virus is still out there. So on a more personal level, haven't done a whole lot. I think I mentioned already my couple of visits to Nando's, which was a very positive one in terms of feeling safe from the virus, but also being empowered to order and pay from the table with my smartphone, which is something I couldn't do before, but something that was really, really positive and helpful and useful. So yeah, but otherwise not a whole lot of socializing. I'm like many other people with a disability like mine, and probably like many in the world in general, I'm just not getting out right into the middle of busy places. But the working from home still been definitely a positive. Being able to do all the meetings and all the pitches from home has been massive in terms of energy levels and health and all the rest of it. But yeah, we sort of had some nice walks with the dog as always, and some nice times with Kasha, still trying to cook up some new and interesting dishes. I think for everyone will agree, food's become more important. Now there's less things we can do out there, leisure and social wise. I'm desperately missing holidays and trips abroad again, like many of you. But yeah, I'm sort of happy to crack on with the day-to-day routine and figure that next year there should be more sort of positive times around COVID-19 and more opportunity to get out there and do more fun things as well. I've got Emma has just said, saw your picture with Louis. Congratulations, Uncle Martin. So that's definitely the big bit of news I was working up to, is my sister had her first child. So yeah, I'm really excited to be an uncle again, because my stepbrothers have got children, and I'm really close with those nieces and nephews. But it was really amazing that my little sister's had a baby Louis. So that's been some really cool news as well. And then, yeah, I guess the other thing just to touch upon from a disability perspective, had a new care assistant start. So all the stuff that entails, just sort of recruitment and training of personal care assistants is quite a big job, but a little bit more settled and stable now, which is great. Jonathan saying, missed your videos, Martin. Great to see you back. Congrats on becoming an uncle again. Yeah, thank you for that, Jonathan. Jackie saying, inspirational young man. I'm going to take the young part of that all day long. Thank you, Jackie. And Andy, who we caught up with a few weeks ago on a call, which was really nice. It's good to see you watching on the live on LinkedIn. So it's clearly clicked into LinkedIn in the end, which is great. Great to see. So yeah, I was saying obviously around the personal care assistants, there's been some stuff as always around funding and recruitment and training. On the sort of mobility and equipment side, I've just found out I've got the grant awarded for my next Motability vehicle, which changes every 5 years. So I'm really happy to have secured the grant funding. So I'm going to start doing getting a couple of vehicles demonstrated on the shortlist that are available and suitable for me, my needs and my wheelchair, sort of wheelchair dimensions. So it'll be exciting to get a new car in the next, probably a couple of months, I would imagine. So yeah, I'll keep you updated on the new car stuff. Housing we've had a really drafty house for a while, and finally today we managed to, I guess we've saved some money by not flying abroad as much, right? So we've been able to get the loft insulated. So that's today's big news, is the loft is now insulated. Josh, big up the Sibs with a very amusing emojis going on there. Hey Josh, good to see you again, buddy. I mentioned already about the Community Connections project I'm involved in for SMA UK. So Josh works with me closely on that, and there's been some health and well-being topics with professionals for the community, for people with SMA and sort of family as well. We've also had people with SMA talking about living with SMA. So going to uni to, the sort of independent living stuff I've just talked about, to employment, to holidays, all that kind of stuff. And also we've had a really nice, every other Saturday, a kind of fortnightly catch up where we just hang out, and we've had poker and quizzes and all that kind of stuff. So hello, Rob. Good to see you, Rob. After we've been saying we have to have a proper catch up soon. I'd say you catch some of the things I said earlier. It's been really, really busy, but I know we are overdue a catch up on a one-to-one. And Gavin, one of the amazing people we've been working closely with at Purple Goat, doing some really cool influencer activations. So yeah, great to catch up with you, Gavin. Harry saying, hey Martin, good to see you, mate, as always. So yeah, it was I'm really glad that I didn't just write the post and share it, that I actually jumped on. And you may not catch all of these 18 minutes, and some of them may not be of massive interest, but I just thought I'd kind of share generally what's going on in my world. I know that lots of other disabled people find it nice just to have that person talking on videos that are doing things that are familiar and that kind of representation. And very often there's people who want to learn more about some of the aspects of having a disability, and I'm very happy to share these insights for those of you. But yeah, most of all, it's just nice to connect with you all again on a live stream. So I think that was probably everything that I was going to share. Most of all, yeah, just kind of like, if you've got any ideas around businesses, like business leaders that could be on this podcast, feel free to introduce them. If you, Chris is saying he's only here I'll come back to Ali in a second, only here for the Nando's update. Yeah, I need to get back to Nando's soon, actually, Chris. And Ali saying agreed, representation matters, exactly. So if nothing else, it's just good to have our voice out there and our voice heard, and we can't always control what that leads to, good, bad, or indifferent, but it's just having a voice and being able to use it is really, really important. And that's why I do these kind of things. Yeah, so anyone you can introduce for the podcast, brilliant. If you've got any ideas for some short form content I can do in this way, send it in, because I'd love to get your ideas, but I'm looking to do some kind of general what's inspired me. And yeah, otherwise I'll just jump on again soon with a general update. And most of all, just as I said at the beginning, I hope you're all keeping well as we go into autumn. I can definitely feel with the weather getting colder and the nights drawing in that my energy levels aren't quite up where they were in June with the warmer, longer days. But let's bunker down for the winter and still get lots of good activism done and lots of social change done, even if we haven't got the same fuel in the tank as we do in the summer months. And some of you may be more thriving in the winter, and if that's the case, I'm jealous. But yeah, I'm going to sign off. Thanks again for tuning in on the live, and thanks for everyone watching the replay. And I will definitely be back in touch one way or another again really soon. All right, guys, take care. Have a great week. Bye-bye.